Practices are meant to be competitive. They're meant to be competitive. If your practices aren't more competitive than the games themselves, you're doing the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
And most of these teams and coaches have gotten into a mindset of resting players.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's too much. We're not going to practice light day. Phil never gave us a light day.
Mm-hmm.
There's no days off. You show up and you work and you practice.
Yeah.
And practices are going to be worse. They're
Yeah.
going to be more physical. There's going to be more trash talking. And I'm going to let you know. Right?
Yeah.
If you didn't show up today, I'm going to let you know.
Yeah.
And it's going to be embarrassing. And you're going to hate it. But when Game 7 rolls around, the NBA Finals, you will be prepared. Practices are meant to be competitive.
Welcome to The Real with Joseph Lamtman. I am Joseph Lamtman. Happy Saturday to you guys. Hope you guys are having a good day today, good weekend. I know I am. And got a special episode today. One of my brother, one of my closest friends in life, Zack Potok is joining the show today. It's been a long time waiting for this episode to get him on. Just so you guys can see what our relationship's like. Him and I are, like I said, pretty close. We've been very close friends for a long time. We met each other. We were 7 years old. We met each other through football, Pee-wee football, and just our relationship took off ever since. We played sports together, pretty much our whole lives, and then our families became really close. His mom and dad are like my step parents, vice versa, and so looking forward to this today. But without further ado, let's get the man himself up here.
What's up, man? What's up?
What's up, man? That's good, man. How you doing?
Living the dream as always. How about yourself?
Yeah, same old, man. You know me, just podcasting and doing what I do. But no, man, how have you been? What have you been up to lately?
Nothing, man. Just trying to grind, work.
Mm-hmm.
Running my own staffing agency now. Doing a couple other side jobs as well, but really trying to take that off with hopefully the people that actually want to work for once in their life. So,
yeah, for sure. And no, it's good to see you, man. You want to get some people a little backstory about yourself and who you are, people that don't know you?
Yeah. So Zack Potok, like kind of what Joseph started as. We actually did start off playing football with each other. 7 years old, Ross Park.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nope, those were the good old days. Then
shout out to Ross Park.
Yeah, absolutely. Then we actually played basketball together, and ever since then, man, me and him just been staying with each other, contacting every now and then. Just want to check in on you, just make sure you're all good, and yeah, man, just doing my thing.
Yeah, make sure I hold you in check sometimes when you step it out of line.
Yeah, nope, I do got a big mouth.
Oh boy, but yes, I mean, let's get to it. I know this is going to be a quicker episode today, guys, just so you guys can feel out. This will be not the first time Zack, or not the last time Zack comes on. He'll be on a lot of times, so it's a good first episode today to feel him out, get to know him a little bit. But him and I were talking yesterday, and he was, like you said, you work nonstop, and you kind of give a little insight of kind of what you do day to day. Just I can tell everything, but just kind of the people you're around, and kind of what you observe.
I mean, it's just people that don't want to help themselves. I mean, it's just kind of, this world is a very, very crazy place right now. And the fact, like, I feel like myself and like my team as well, where we are working way harder, and just for them to stick at a job, and we're trying to help them. They could have criminal backgrounds, they could have maybe not the greatest of drug screens, or maybe they were into drugs before. With us at our company, ASAP Staffing, we genuinely try to help everybody and anybody that wants to be helped. And today's just nothing but, I mean, dude, there's people that walk off an hour after they start their shift, and that pisses me off so bad, because then you're just like, why bother? Like, why bother even showing up at that point? But we also get the no-shows. We also get the people that are just, and like I said, we get our good workers too. And don't get me wrong, it's just, it's just you have to play the game in order for us to really grow. And I feel like it's just hard as hell these days. It really is.
Yeah, it's definitely what you and I were talking about. It's just a different mentality nowadays. It's a
100%.
and it's not you and I were raised the same way. That's why we were so close because we were.
Mm-hmm.
I like to say, especially with men, we were both raised by savage men, as I like to say, savages. You know, hardcore.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
yeah. It doesn't get more savage than your dad. Your dad is something else, but
Absolutely.
I love your
Absolutely.
dad. But yeah, I mean, it's just I think you're just seeing a result too. You just not a lot of men in society nowadays. Not a lot of guys willing to work, step up, and do what they're supposed to do. Ultimately,
It's crazy, man, because it seems like the girls are the more harder workers today than the guys,
mm-hmm.
and the guys are kind of letting all the real men that are actually working and trying to support the family and everything. All these other suckers out here just they're letting people down for real, and it's sad when you see these guys just they're playing the PlayStation 5 that the girlfriend just bought them and everything like that, while the girlfriend's out here hustling, doing 9 to 5. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
crazy, man.
It's fact, yeah. And a lot of the girls they try to make more change and be involved in things. Guys aren't doing anything to help anything nowadays. They're just sitting on their ass.
Hmm.
Like you said, they sit on their ass all day. They just sit on the phone. They don't do anything. Everybody's got an excuse nowadays. Everybody's just full of excuses. And
Yeah, it's like the roles are reversed. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like when
mm-hmm.
we were before we even thought of and everything like that, it just kind of the stereotypical, I guess per se, was the guy was out there, getting the money while the mom was or the woman, whoever it was, was making sure kids were good, making sure your dinner was all good and everything like that. Now it seems like roles are reversed,
Mm-hmm.
which I mean, shout out to the women out there, do your thing, but
Right. Shout out all
I
the
mean.
ladies.
Yeah, but I mean, guys, you gotta step the fuck up, man, for real.
Yeah, facts. They got to step up. And yeah, man, I don't. It's just crazy because I see with my dad's business what he's in, you see what you're in. It's just the guys that just don't. It's like, what are you there for? It's like, do you wake up every day just to walk to work and stare at the wall, and just take lunch breaks nonstop? And it's just like, there's no. It's the mentality, man. It's just soft. It's just.
Well, I'll say the best part is just like when we have to like get rid of people or end people's assignments because the amount
Mm-hmm.
of bro, I get probably 4 or 5 emails a week, and that's even like maybe undercutting it to
Mm-hmm.
where they literally cannot stay off their cell phone. You're just like, what made you think it's okay to have your cell phone on in the place the whole time and working? I mean, God forbid you actually work.
Right.
It's just,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, God forbid that if they would have grew up maybe like 20 years before us and everything like that, when cell phones really weren't a big thing, they'd had shit.
For sure. And I want to get a little more kind of how you and I were kind of like how we were like I said we were raised by savages by because I feel like this is important. I feel like nowadays you're seeing the result of a lot of people that the lack of fathers in the home, the lack of like I've been saying, the lack of men in society. And so I guess I know you know how my dad is. I know how your dad is. They're both hustlers. I remember
100%.
there was a time when I was 7 years old. We were not doing well financially. We were, and I mean, we didn't really have a place to live at one point. But I saw my dad work for 45 days straight, all day, every day, just to get the money. And I know your dad is a hustler. Your dad goes and
Mm-hmm.
gets it. I watched your dad for years. Such I used to come over to your house. He'd be up all
Mm-hmm.
night doing film work on the team. Then he'd get up at 5 in the morning, go to work all day, keep doing, and just. So I guess kind
Yeah.
of how was that? How was your work mentality developed? Because I know now you, like you said, you work nonstop. You're just hustling and trying to go get it.
I mean, I would say the biggest thing, and like with like my father and like your father as well, they're big mentors. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
I started off with the staffing agency at 18 years old, fresh out of high school. And when it comes to that, I mainly started off as like kind of like watching him, but then also I was like his assistant role. And then I only thing I did was keep on growing and growing and growing. But like I really got to learn the business and learn everything about him more than I ever even knew. I mean, it was so crazy because I could see him just at home. He could be cussing people out sometimes, and you just, from my standpoint, when we're younger, we're just laughing because you think,
Right.
oh, it's funny as hell. But then when
Mm-hmm.
you get older, you really look at it, and think about it, you're just like, holy shit! Like this guy's costing him money, or
Mm-hmm.
this person's fucking up here, and you're just like, just kind of growing up with that. And then when you actually got to like be in it and see from firsthand experience, I couldn't be any more grateful for my father or my mother, either one of them. I mean, they really helped me out a lot. They really have.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, like you said, they're like mentors, and that's what my dad learned from his dad. And I know your dad's father's background is pretty. Give a little insight about who your grandfather is. He's pretty unique.
Yeah, so my grandfather, he passed away in 2017. With him, he actually grew up and was born in the concentration camps, Bergen-Belsen, over in Germany. I mean, and he had the numbers burned into the arm, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why I got my last name tattooed on me. I don't know if you can see it or whatever,
Oh yeah.
but it's just like the heritage and everything, just like what my family had to go through when back in around like World War II time with Hitler and
Mm-hmm.
everything like that. It's really, really crazy and incredible that my grandfather was one of the survivors, the way he was able to fly to the U.S. and actually do his thing and be able to
Mm-hmm.
work. And yeah, and then, like I say, he passed away 5 years ago, but he lived a good life. And I know whenever we would talk, it's just he's a good guy. He's a good dude.
Yeah, for sure. And I remember we went to the Holocaust Museum. It was pretty cool. We got to find all the
It
paperwork and
was so
documents.
crazy.
It was
It was
crazy, man.
so
It was
crazy, man.
your dad. What? Because if anybody's been there, they got like this computers there where you can go up and type anybody's name in that was involved, and we put his name in, and your dad just started all these paperworks and documents and filings, photo. It was insane. I was like, this is crazy. And
Yeah. Shout out Car
what's
3.
yeah, shout out Car 3. Shout out Justin if you're out there watching, bro.
Yeah.
Car 3, we didn't mess around. Anybody knows what Car 3 is? So, our 8th grade year, we went to Summit Christian School. Anybody doesn't know. And so 8th grade year, we went to a week-long trip to DC, to Gettysburg. And each car was a van. It was car 1, car 2, car 3, all the way up to like 8, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And, we were car 3. And, car 3 was always hauling ass everywhere. Car 3 got to everywhere an hour before everybody else did. Car 3, well, your dad was the highlight of car 3. some of the stuff your dad was saying. He had teachers. Your dad had teachers speechless. Just yeah.
I mean, he leaves everybody speechless just about. I mean,
he left everybody speechless. I almost want to tell a story. I don't know if we should.
I mean, we'll say the censored version is just.
I'll just tell the one where we were standing outside and she was trying to tell us don't be loud. We get to the hotel room.
Oh yeah. I'll say you got that one, or when we were touring George Washington's house, and it literally says no flash photography. Then you got him with his iPad just acting like nothing's going on.
Yeah, just kept taking it.
Yeah, they try to go in every room you weren't supposed to go in too, which was funny as hell.
No, so we were sitting there. We were getting ready to go to the hotel our first night, and our 8th grade teacher was sitting there, and they were telling us like, hey, when you get to the hotel, don't be going around yelling and being loud. Everybody be calm and everything. And so they're trying to give an example. And for some reason, she looked at your dad, and she called your dad Mr. Potak, not Mr. Potok. Yeah. I think that kind of pissed your dad off. Like, why can't you say my name right? And so
nobody can say the name right.
Right, nobody can say the name right. So she looks at your dad. She's like, so when we get there, I don't want you guys going, hey, Mr. Potak, what room are you in? And I remember your dad just took it and ran with it. And he's like, oh, you know what room I'm in, baby. I'm in room number 1. And everybody just lost it. I mean, we were on the floor. Everybody was just, I look around at the teachers, the principal, everybody's just like, he did not just say that. We're like,
I'll say, we're in a Christian school. Like that's the worst thing, too. You just like the private school environment, then all of a sudden you get his big mouth going anywhere, talking about, you know what room I'm in. I'm just like, oh my God. It was funny as hell, though.
It was.
I mean, that was a trip, man. That really was. Like, I mean,
Oh,
I
that
felt like
week. Oh,
I
go
feel like
ahead.
me and you bonded like even closer than what we already were for sure. And then when it comes to the other guys there too, I mean, we had Justin there, we had a couple other guys there as well, and
Yeah,
just like that 8th grade year, we were all just I don't know what it was. It's
that was
just
a
like a
close
unit.
class.
It really was. It
That
really
was a good
was.
class. Me, you, Justin, Luke, God rest his soul,
Yeah, rest in peace.
Joe Morales, my guy, Joe Morales, who's a married man now. Shout out to Joe.
Yeah, Joe. Right, I
Who,
forgot about him.
oh yeah, I talked to I love Joe. He's a great guy. But
Yeah,
who else we got? We had Tyree, Britton.
Britain. Britain.
Where is Britton now? Anybody know
I
where
was gonna
Britton is?
say,
Where
man.
the hell's Britton? Last time I
I said,
saw him, he was walking down Main Street in North Hill. That's the last time. That was like 5 years ago. That's the last time I saw
I
Britton.
Burton he was one of them guys. He was funny as hell.
He was quirky
But
too.
I'll say, but he was also a smart motherfucker though too.
He was smart. Hey, he was quirky, but he was from the hill. He was smart. He was savvy. He was a
Yeah,
little. Once he got him loose, he was a little crazy. But
yeah. No, that's true on that.
but
That's true on that.
no, our eighth grade, our eighth grade class was pretty close. Looking back on it, that was a pretty good year actually. It was better than seventh grade. I know that. Seventh grade
Yeah, no, that's true.
our seventh grade class was wild. It was
Yeah,
it was
that
a
was
little
wild.
yeah.
That basketball year, yeah, that one was pretty wild for me too. I mean,
What basketball?
yeah, the amount of times I got suspended in school suspension. I think I had like 4 or 5 that year.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna keep it like that.
Yeah, we'll just keep it moving from there. But anywho, um, yeah. So I guess that's kind of how our backgrounds are made. Like you said about your grandfather, my grandfather was started working since he was really young, since he was a kid, and he was born ill. So as my dad was growing up, he would see his dad working 20 hours a day at times with diabetes. He wouldn't eat. Sometimes he would have, episodes and he would, that's just his mentality though. He was just a worker. I mean, there was a time when my grandfather had a stroke and he was laying in a hospital bed and they were low on money. And my dad and his brother were out shoveling snow. Right. And I remember my grandfather was just sitting there crying because he just couldn't go work and he felt so bad. He just felt like, but that's the mentality that we were both
I would
raised
say,
around.
I was gonna say that is so crazy, man. Like the fact
It's
of you got somebody in the hospital who needs to be resting and take time to take
mhm.
care of himself. He's more upset that he's not able to go to work compared to these people today. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's crazy.
Yeah, and then, my grandfather passed away when I was 9 years old, and so, but I still carry that mentality. Was passed down to me, and the same thing was passed down to you, and
Well,
I think
100%.
it's important where it starts. It starts in the home. In our homes, luckily, we were taught that, especially when we were younger kids. But I think too, the next layer of that also, I think sports. I think sports
Where we first met,
where
yeah.
we first met, yeah, you and I would be. It's crazy to think if you and I never met. It'd be like boring, but
It'd be crazy. Like what people don't understand. Like when we first met, we would hang out and everything like that. But then probably like our second, third year of football, every Friday when we were doing film, you'd always be
mhm.
staying the night, and then Saturday we'd be riding to the games, and then you'd be staying the night afterwards, or I'd be staying at your house and everything like that. I mean
Well, yeah,
that,
well, we had
and then
some
ever
fun
since,
too. Yeah,
oh
yeah.
yeah, man,
I remember those Saturday morning games. We'd be dragging ass because we'd be up all night. We'd be out at the light till the light went to like 11. You don't get home till like midnight, and
yeah, yeah,
I
and then
remember
of
one
course,
time we went to the bowling alley till like 3 in the morning. Had practice at like you'd get up at 6 for practice. It was just like, oh
yeah,
boy.
yeah, and then of course you get my dad cussing at us the whole time too, saying that we're dragging ass the whole time.
Yeah. Or yeah. You
Yeah,
guys
you
shouldn't have
better
been up all
unfuck
night.
yourself. Yeah,
Guys shouldn't have been
yeah,
up all night. Well, we had some fun. Still won the game,
exactly. I
but
was just saying that was the thing though. Like, I think at that time we just knew we were unbeatable, and we just, we were wrecking people. People feared us. We
mhm.
could have played our worst game ever, and we were still beating
Still
people.
win
I
by
mean,
20.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean
And
it's just I feel like when we both got to 11 years old, so that's when it was like me, you, the Debo came around. That's when he came over.
Hmm.
Some people watching this might know we call him Debo. Some of you guys might know him
Yeah.
as Deshaun Martin, right? Deshaun. But growing up, we know him as Debo, right? That's what we call him.
Shout out to Debo.
Shout out to Devo. All right. He was introduced to us as Devo. That's what we call him. All right. That's our boy. All right. So we got Devo. We got it was me, you, Devo. Dallas came over. Who else? Spencer. When Spencer came down, Spencer
Yeah.
Robinson, Jake Gruick, our boy,
J-Bone.
J Bone. I mean, it was just crazy. We used to always hang out every weekend, all the time. I mean, really during the week too, because then we started going to school together. And then so I feel like when we got to 12 years old, we started going to school together. And then we started to we were together 24/7,
Oh
and we
yeah.
were inseparable. But also, just I think what sports taught us during that time period, we were trying to win a national championship. You and I were playing two sports at one time. I remember we're going to practice at Falls High School because Falls High had the lights; they let us use it at night, and then
Yeah.
so we would have basketball practice after school for 2 hours. You go run for 2 hours. That's basically what practice was. You just go. It's a track meet for 2 hours,
Yeah.
and
Basically.
we would leave, put our shit on in the locker room, our pads, and go straight to football practice. And I remember that period right there. That was what, November 2012,
Yeah. No, it was like right before
almost
Thanksgiving
December
time.
too. Yeah, it was late.
Yeah.
And I remember, I just remember there was some nights you and I would text each other. It would be like almost 1 a.m. And I'm just sitting there like trying to keep my eye open, just trying to do my homework. I'm just like,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Like
But
nobody else at our age was doing that shit.
I would say
I wouldn't
we
wish
were.
anybody to do that, but we would.
I would say that we were just training for war at that point because the
Yeah.
only thing we cared about was just winning that national title. We didn't want nothing else. We were training. We were ready to fight. We just we just were some angry motherfuckers. And then right when that time came, it was the best feeling in the world.
It was. There's nothing. I was talking to my dad recently because we all sit and reminisce all the time about it, and
Oh,
it was
100%.
funny. Him and I was telling him something recently. Like, there's nothing like when you're playing football late in the winter or late in the fall like that, early winter, because you're playing for a championship. There's like a different feeling. It was just a different. And then
100%.
the night we won it up in Menor, we beat Mogador. We just ran them off the field. It was nothing. I think that's That's probably the best. That fourth quarter, you're just running it down their throat. You were dropping dimes. Keandre was dropping dimes. Trell was hitting people. Just blasting people.
Hmm.
Jordan was
Yes,
just running all over
absolutely.
the place. Everybody was
Yes.
talking shit. The shit talking was at all time high. And they just tapped out. We tapped them out that game, and this is what it
Yeah.
was. And but there was nothing
I,
like that.
yeah, no. Because with that, we were always known for beating Mogador up every year until that
Mm-hmm.
year. Then when they stumped us, then we
They
kind of were
kicked
like,
our ass. They got us good
I'd
early.
say,
That
I'd
was an
say
ass
we were
kicking right
like,
there.
we didn't know what to do, what to expect. And
I had a
then,
bad game too because Zach was the quarterback. I was the center. I had a horrible game. I just kept hiking the ball real high. I don't know why. I just had a bad game. It was the worst game I ever played.
yeah, and then when we played them like half, I don't know why we played them twice. We never used to play people twice, but for some reason
Mm-hmm.
our schedule was lined up that year like that. And
Mm-hmm.
then when we played them, we were in their heads and everything, and then we got robbed. We were about to have a full out team brawl with us against Mogador, and
Yeah,
then
we had the whole Devo back that game. I remember Devo was charging
yeah,
across the field like a maniac.
yeah,
Oh man.
and then I was like, your mom was trying to hold him back, and then yeah, everybody was trying to hold everybody back just that way we wouldn't get in no serious shit. It was crazy.
I remember too. One of our school teachers came to that game. Like these guys just couldn't see a normal football game, like a
Oh
Keelan football
yeah,
game. I'm
yeah.
like, Mr. Elio, and I'm like, no, man, this ain't a normal football game. We're sitting there. Our parents are in the stands, like, fuck you, F
Yeah,
your kid, all this shit. You guys suck. I mean, just going on. I mean, it was insane, that rivalry between us and Mogador. It was like, dude, yeah, I think everybody from the whole city was there, from not just
I
Cuyahoga
was
Falls. You had people from Akron. Everybody was coming over to watch that game.
I would say it just was the buildup. It really was just the
Mm-hmm.
mentality where they stumped us, but then us coming on the comeback, we wanted their ass, and we were
Mm-hmm.
training. because we didn't give a fuck about any other opponent. We knew we were gonna kick their ass, so we just wanted Mongo's ass. And when we finally did it with the national championship, it was the greatest feeling. It really was, man.
It was. I remember too. We had at the Moose Lodge. That was our spot for what was it for? We had a spaghetti dinner there for fundraiser. And what else? We had the our national championship ceremony was there. We got our medals, which is
yeah.
They're right there. It's the medal.
But, yeah.
Oh yeah, I got it right behind me. I gotta put that in the thing. I gotta have it in the background. I gotta have that everywhere I go.
I'll say that's badass.
It is. When I went through that period though, when I was at my when I went to my high school for a year, and I was going through a rough period, I put that medal in my bag every day and looked at that medal. You? I swear I get it, man, because at that time when I was playing football, and I've talked about it on the show, you obviously, I don't need to get into it anymore, but I was going through a rough period. I kept looking at that because every day I had to keep going. Something had to keep me pushing every day.
Right.
But that's the mentality. Same thing with my anxiety. If I would have had the weak mentality, just it's easy to be a victim. It's easy to cave in. We wouldn't be talking right now. There's a lot of things I wouldn't be doing right now that I would have never thought of doing even a year ago.
I was gonna say, I mean, you've grown so much, man, and I just remember, I think it was like a couple years ago where we were hanging out and everything like that, and when it was like really, really bad, and I'll never forget we were playing Madden, and then we were waiting for the Raptors game to come on because we were trying to watch Kawhi versus Giannis. It was like the Eastern Conference Finals. We we ordered some food. We were just pigging the hell out, and dude, it was the craziest thing ever because it took so long for us to like finally like reconnect because our schedules were so busy and everything like that. And then when we finally like actually connected and everything like that, it just felt like, damn, like it just seemed like we just continued where we left off.
Right, exactly. It's like if I tell somebody, if people were around us, like out in public, we'd be sitting there, we just sit there, look at this guy over here talking, we would do what we do. But yeah, you would think we talk every day.
Yeah, 100%.
But no, I mean, I'm glad we're back now, back where we belong. But I'm like that with everybody now. I'm trying to, reconnect with a lot of people to make new relationships. And, just during that period, I didn't really, I just didn't want to be around. I was just away for a while. I just needed to take a break. I had to take a break away, but also I just didn't, my confidence was just so low. I didn't really feel, it wasn't my true self. You know what I mean? If I was around everybody back then, you guys would be like, who the hell is this guy?
I'll say, but you needed that time though to really get yourself back. Because
I just had to unwind. Like
100%.
Like the day I actually left school and went to homeschooling, that day was crazy. It was a Thursday, right? And so at that time, I'm going through, the doctors put me on medication. I'm doing all right. And so as the day goes on, my anxiety, every day I was like I was just trying to get through the day, but my anxiety was just terrible. And so I remember I was sitting there at lunch with my buddy Mike Matthews, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I just started feeling like just terrible, like just jolting your body, just anxiety was kicking in, but I didn't really know what it was. I remember I went into the bathroom at the school. I went down, there was a far end bathroom. I just went in there. And I remember I called my mom, and I was just like, Mom, I'm freaking out. Like, something's wrong. You need to come pick me up. Like, I'm going home. I'm done with this. I'm done with all this. I need to, like, I was pushed to the max at that point. And I remember I was sitting in the bathroom, and I couldn't leave the bathroom. Like, I just didn't want to move. Sometimes you have a bad anxiety attack. You just don't even want to move. You just freeze. And so I remember the school officer actually came in. It was like, God sent me an angel. And I just said, hey, man, I'm just what I'm feeling like. And he helped me get out of the bathroom and, helped walk me down to when my mom finally pulled up. And then, I walked out of the building that day. I just walked out the door. That was the last time. That was it. And then from that point forward, for a short period, I went away for a while. I just shut down. I had to take my own time away just to, get myself together, just to be able to think straight. And so, but, you, Debo, Justin, Dallas, all you guys, Mike Matthews, I became close with. I want to make sure I stay in contact with you guys more than anybody, because you guys are like my guys. So, But yeah, man, it's just yeah, I just needed a period. But like I said, we're back now, and it's glad to see how far you've grown too, man. I mean, you've come a long
Yeah,
way.
100%. I mean, and speaking with you, like, you know, I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you, man. Like,
Mm,
I saw the struggle period of you where, you were down in the dumps, where you were, I mean, you just were in a bad spot. But I
mm.
knew God has a plan for everybody, and that's what I tell everybody. Where with you, I knew it just mattered of time. It's just, I'm happy you're back though, man. I really am.
No, I appreciate it, man. I'm glad to be back, and it's been surreal the last 4 months. Sometimes I just kind of like it's just you're away from for so long, you're out of the rhythm, you're out of the routine, and then you're back. It's like it's kind of unfamiliar because I haven't done it so long, but it feels right. Like it just feels like connecting with my people. You know what I mean? It's like I'm coming home, and so
Exactly.
that's what it feels like. It feels like a
Exactly.
homecoming, and I got some more things I want to do, and I still got goals I want to achieve and things I got to take, but that's just
And
part
the
of
good thing
life.
with you though, like you still got the youth to you. I mean, you could be like
Hmm.
way further down the line where like you're 35, 40 years old, where
Yeah.
you're like, oh shit. But I mean, you're 22, you'll be 23 in a couple weeks,
Hmm.
and yeah, man, it's just you know you gotta keep going, man. I'm proud of you, like I said.
No, I appreciate it, brother. But no, I'm glad it happened when it did. I'm sure, I know you had your growth trial, during high school. You and I would always sit and text and stuff. And, uh, you know, I don't think we could both say our high schools, probably our high school paths were a little different than we thought they would be going into it. But,
Yeah, no, I got denied from every high school I wanted to go to, so I got stuck to just go to Falls.
mm,
Every school I applied for, I got denied for just because test scores were low and everything like that. But the good thing though was it was a lot of lessons learned in a where there's a lot of growth.
mm,
And you know, when I kind of started with seventh grade, when I went to summer Christian or whatever, I went from sixth grade where I was talkative to everybody. I was knowing everybody, saying what's up to everybody to like seventh grade. You're going to like a new environment and you're kind of just like, all right, you're trying to play it out for the first couple of weeks. And a couple of weeks later would go by, you just kind of feel like, oh shit, am I messing well with everybody? Then you start getting in your
mm,
head, and then finally, when you finally get over that hump, then you're like, oh, what the hell was I freaking out about? And
yeah.
and that was kind of like the same thing with high school because then you go from like a very private where 15, 20 people in your class tops
Mm,
to when you go to like a public high school where you're looking at 25, 30, maybe even higher than that, where you're like, oh shit, like you came from the environment to go to a newer environment, then you got to adjust to the old environment again, and it's just the craziest shit ever. But you know, I got through it, and there was very many people involved where they helped me out a lot. My
mm.
people, my girl, and I know me and you would talk. It's just it was crazy. It really was. But I'm glad I went through all of that because it made me a better man than I am today, though.
Yeah, and I like you're gonna be 23. What, December? I'll be 23
Yep.
in a couple weeks. But I'd rather be young than know what I know now. 23 is very young. So I'd rather be where
Hmm.
I am now than you got. Remember, you look around, man. We see a lot of people our age. They haven't really gone through anything. Like we've both. Not that we're, you and I. We wouldn't put ourselves on a pedestal or anything. We're just,
Hmm.
regular guys. Get up, and go we do every day. But uh, yeah, when you go through something at that early age, and you got to go through those growth trials and just kind of, you work in the real world. The people you're around, you've seen it firsthand. It prepares you for
Unfortunately.
the rest of your life. But it sets you up though for the rest of your life. You have an advantage that a lot of people our age don't have. A lot of people are fresh out of college right now and they don't know what to do.
Hmm.
They got that degree, but what's that degree? It's a piece of paper. What are you gonna do with it? A lot of them, they're just.
Exactly, and that's where college isn't for everybody. I knew
Mm-hmm,
when I was 17. I was really like into like sports medicine my freshman sophomore year, and like even part of my junior year. And then when I learned it and everything like that, because my whole thing was, all right, at that time I couldn't make it for sports,
mm-hmm,
so I want to be on a sports team because obviously the love of sports, the love of football, basketball, I want to be a part of it still. But then I just realized like You still got to go to college. You still got to go through all this additional shit.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, that's when I actually feel like really like sat down with my dad and I just asked him like, when I turn 18 and where like I graduate, I want to learn. And then, this is kind of like my college right now where, I'm learning stuff through experience and
Mm-hmm.
it's and that's how I learn best is by going through experiences. Cause I mean, when you learn from a book and it's kind of a different vibe when you learn from experience and you make a mistake. And then when you make that mistake, all right, I can't do that bullshit again. Cause then it's going to fuck me down a couple
Mm-hmm.
steps and it's just the craziest shit ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And something when you go into like you said, with your 7th grade year, you went to a whole new. That was a big culture change for you. No,
It
I didn't.
really was.
I
It
didn't
really
really. I
fucking
didn't
was.
experience that till I went to high school. When I went to a new high school, that was a big shock for me. Because, dude, if you would have saw me during that year, you would have been like, where's this ain't the dude I know. Like, I was
I
not
was gonna
myself
say,
at
man.
all. I would not talk. I was quiet. I just had my confidence was low. It was just very uncomfortable. So I kind of know you're talking. I didn't know that because I remember. Luckily, I was there with you, try to help you
Mm.
out through that process. And I knew the school real well, obviously. But man, when I went to that the new place when I was in 9th grade, I was just like, I don't know what the fuck. I was just like, and it was like and it just escalated throughout the year. But nah, but I mean, it helps you out though when you get older because now when you go to new environments, you know how to adapt. Now you know how to react differently than you did last time.
Oh, 100%, 100%. And like I said, I couldn't be any more grateful for those experiences and the way, the people that were there for me through it all. I'm loyal to you, and I couldn't be any more appreciative for the people I got around me.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, it's another thing I think but we both grew up around was you guys the Potok family is very loyal people. I mean,
Mm.
and you guys have seen me at some like I don't think I've ever said this. We went on our spring break trip and you took me and Devo to where did we go to Disney, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, Florida.
We went to Orlando for spring break, and I remember that trip. That's actually that was the first trip where I started to really kind of feel I really realized what I was going through with my anxiety.
Yeah, I would
And
say something was off with you. I knew
yeah,
it. It just,
but
I mean, at that time,
I look back at that trip now years later. I'm like, that was the trip where I felt really uncomfortable, where I started to really feel my health anxiety kick in. But it's
yeah,
crazy though. But no, I mean your mom and dad were great through that. Though your dad really helped me out a lot that week. I remember your dad was sitting there with me that one morning. I was just losing it.
yeah.
But nah, man. I mean it's crazy. Just all the shit we've been through together. It's just we're only 23 too. Was it your not many? That's crazy. I was telling you, like I went by Ross Park the other day on my bike. When I go out biking, I just look at their practices now. I'm just like, these dudes have no idea. Nobody has no idea the shit that we went through. Like,
I would say, I mean, because with my father being in the Marine Corps and then my grandfather
mm-hmm.
being in the Marine Corps, he brought all his Marine Corps shit basically to our practices where,
And they were
you
fun,
know,
but they were intense. We had
yeah,
fun though. Yeah,
I
like
would say,
we would go do the Indian Death Run, which I don't need to explain that. You guys just tell by the name, Indian Death Run. And then in full pads, by the way. And then after we did that, then he'd line us up. We'd go head on head, Oklahoma style, just bulldoze drill head on. And it was just like then we go scrimmage and be intense scrimmaging. But it's like that's why I played the Kobe Bryant clip in the beginning because he talked about when we get to game 7, you gotta be able to handle it. That's how
exactly.
we were. We played against older teams. Like we were 12, 13-year-olds playing against 15-year-olds and kicking their ass.
Yeah,
It's like I
no,
remember that time we went to Columbus for a tournament later that year. That was
the state champion.
that was one of the funnest weekends of all time. Staying in that big ass Sheraton hotel down there in Columbus, right by Ohio State.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
we played against older teams that whole weekend. Basically, I remember was it that team from West Cleveland had this kid who was like, remember he's like 6'2", wide
yeah,
receiver, and
something like that.
everybody kept telling us like this guy's gonna light you guys up, and we're like whatever. So probably one of our best players, not the best player, Keandre. I mean, Keandre was extremely skilled.
I'd say he was a freak of nature. He
He was a
really
freak of
was.
nature. He was a freak of nature. If anybody knows Keandre growing up, he was a freak. And Yeah, I remember just Keandre just locked that kid down. I mean, I don't think the kid even caught a pass. I never seen anything like it. I was just like, but that was like another moment. You're like, we're really doing something like different. Like we're different than everybody else, and even our jerseys were different. Our swag was different. Everything was different.
Everybody started copying our jerseys.
Copying our
season.
jerseys, man. Took our pink jerseys,
Yeah.
took our style, everything. Just that's how you know you're a trendsetter team. But
we drew the crowds.
we did drew the crowds.
I mean, even when
we had bigger capacity. We had more people at our games than the high school team.
Yeah, for real. I was gonna say, like, it really started when we were like probably like the 18 when our crowd, especially like that Copley game or the Stowe game.
You couldn't find a seat in that stadium. It was a high school stadium.
Yeah,
for a Pee Wee game.
And we were drawing crowds like that, and then you got JV afterwards. Everybody dipped. And then the next year when we were JV, everybody stayed for the JV game. For the varsity, they dipped. Then we went to varsity. Then everybody
games are always at 4:15 too.
Varsity.
Yeah, that place at 3:00. We're starting to fill in. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. It's gonna be a show today. But we embraced it though. So
I was just saying, I love those moments, man. And like I said, just the whole mentality of us just preparing for war on a week to week, and it was a great experience. It really was.
I liked when we got to like mid-season. We kind of had like our own. We had an identity now. We knew who we were.
Mm-hmm.
I remember like our pre-games were fun. We'd have music blasted. Everybody be joking around. But then we'd start doing like chants. We'd chanting at the other team, California Oranges and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then we'd get down to do the Lord's Prayer. Then we'd run out there and go kick some. I mean, it was just like the mentality was just unbelievable. But
we were a family. We were a unit.
Yeah, we were a unit. We were close because the stuff we were going through. I mean, I've kind of talked about it on the show a little bit. I mean, we had more people that were African American on our team. So some of the towns we would play against, they'd chant racial slurs at us and call us names, and we had just a lot of stuff we went through that year. I mean, just people dying. We had people it was just insane. But thinking we could write a movie on that. But yeah, I mean, I think that though, the hate we had the hate towards us because of who we had on our team, and just it was just like we don't care. We look people as people. We're family,
Exactly.
And but I think that game we beat Mogador at Menor though, and I remember walking out of the gate. It was damn near Malice in the Palace, just without the throwing the stuff at us. Like
exactly. I
remember I had a lady put a paper in my face, like bitching at me. I'm like 13. I'm like,
I was like, people were so pissed. They really were. Which, I mean, I don't give a fuck. I mean, you can be pissed, whatever.
Right.
We kicked that ass.
We whooped that ass. We walked out of there when
exactly.
But yeah, so I'm gonna give we beat Mogador that national championship game. We walk out to leave. We all walk out in a unit. Mogador swarms the gate on us. Their parents, they were like pissed ass. They just did. That's how bad the rivalry got. It was personal, like beyond personal, really. And I remember my mom was walking out with someone's mom, and she heard someone shout the N-word towards her. I mean, it was just insane. And yeah, I mean, that was that's I always think about that. Just a 12, 13-year-old team. That's what we had grown adults at our face yelling at us like we were like a professional team walking out of. It's like when you walk when the Browns walking out of against the Celtics that time, they're always yelling stuff at. They throw a beer on them and stuff. It's just like insane.
But like I said, that's the type of attention that we drew, and everybody, they knew the two teams that were going up that night. It was going to be a war. It was going to be a battle. And with all that tension from all the buildup from all the games beforehand, and then when we finally got what we needed, what we wanted, they were pissed. And it just was fuck. It was the greatest feeling, though. It was funny as fuck watching all these motherfuckers motherfucking us and piss off. And but I mean, for us though, I mean, we look back on each other at that moment. We just were like, we're all together. We're here, and we did something special. And it was still, I mean, just
the fun part though was the week after we were celebrating. That was a fun ass week. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
Especially that Saturday, we had our thing at the Boost Lodge. Everybody went to a lot of people went to the St. V game. That's when Paris Campbell came onto the scene and lit it up for like 3 touchdowns against Bellevue. And I remember we went to Quaker Steak after, and then we went straight to we went straight to our banquet, and we went from the banquet, and we went to someone's house afterwards. I can't remember. We were all over the place, but that week after, though, something when you win, when you put your goal up like that, when you make a goal in anything in life and you accomplish it, just the feeling of victory.
100%. And when that all broke out and happened, it just was. I feel like when all that shit broke out after we won, it brought the bond closer. And then we had a week because we had still got to go through the school shit and everything like that. And then when that Friday hit and that weekend hit and we knew what was going down, it was, like I said, it was just the family got back together and we kept on doing our thing and we carried on where we left off.
Yeah, that's one thing I missed as the years went on. I went to different places. I just missed it was great characters we had. Like, it was just great people. Especially a lot of people connected with God, which, I can't, but even if you didn't, it was just good people, like just great people. And, we all said our thing. We say crazy things, but that's unique about us. We weren't fake people. The people we were around, they weren't phony people at all. That's why the title of this show, I call it The Real, because I'm to be the real me. That's just who I am. I'm never going to be somebody I'm not. But that's what we were. We embodied who we were. And I think that's why what made us great. But that's also the mentality you carry and I'll carry for the rest of my life. It's just, again, it all circles back to what we were taught when we were younger, with the work ethic, the mentality, the values, everything.
100%. And just from all those times, too, there were great learning experiences and where you were able to grow from it. And, you carried it. They weren't friendships. It was just, you gained 25, 30 brothers with you. And that was the bond that it couldn't be broken at all.
Yeah, and we all get together now. It's like whenever we get together, but even in years since, we've all gotten together at times. It's hard to get everybody in one spot at one time, but it's crazy. It's just it's like we never not seen each other. So
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think we hit that topic pretty hard about the work ethic mentality. You got anything else you want to add to it towards the end, or?
No, brother. I mean,
you got some words to encourage people that need to get out there and get going?
Get the fucking work.
Yeah.
Stop being some lazy motherfuckers, for real.
All right, yeah. So that's your closing words from Zach. But I guess we'll head on the. We are going to transition a little bit. Have some fun here at the end with the. It's the whole thing's been fun, but talk about the Browns last night, because I know you're big into sports, and
oh my God,
it's like to have a center for a 1 day of practice. Remember those days when I was sick and I couldn't come to practice? How practice was?
Yeah.
So Nick Harris is out. That's a big blow.
Deshaun Watson. I mean, I know it was a lot of rest, but man, I can't fucking. He looked like shit last night.
Yeah, it wasn't a good performance. I think a lot of it was rust, but I also saw videos too where the crowd was chanting at him during.
I saw that today. I was like, "What the fuck?" Like,
I was like,
I mean, first off, it's funny as fuck for the fact of, people will just think of whatever just to get in people's head, but it was funny as hell when I saw that shit. But I mean, maybe it got in his head. Who fucking knows? But
I think it did. I think that's. Man, you see, human being. You can't prepare for that? What do you got? You got guys at practice going, no, you don't have people saying that.
Yeah.
But no, I think he'll be fine though. He's just too damn talented. I think the receiving core needs to pick it out. Those shorts, 2 drops.
I'll say that was fucking nuts. I was getting so pissed, man, when I saw him drop passes. I saw
he dropped 2 in a row.
The pass. Yeah, and then Deshaun Watson overthrew, I think, once or twice.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, we still end up winning, so I mean, hey, it is what it is. But
defense, I was impressed with Jerome Ford. I was impressed with Jerome Ford. That's a pretty good player.
And he came from Cincy.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Cincinnati. Shout out to Debo in Cincinnati this year. But no, I know Kareem Hunt wants traded. So, but I mean, I like Kareem Hunt a lot, but if Kareem Hunt can go get a payday, I think he's earned the right to go get a payday. Let him go get a payday. If you got this guy now, if he's cheaper,
But I mean, you got Chubb and Hunt, man. That's a
that's a
great
tough ass
1-2
combo.
punch.
Yeah,
It
no,
is,
I
man.
agree. I want to keep them here together, but I think you got to worry about your finances too down the road. So
I was gonna say, which that's gonna be with them fucking guaranteeing Deshaun Watson's money like that. That's gonna kill us for the next fucking 4 or
well, they
5
got to hope
years.
the salary cap's gonna, because I know they want to do a deal with Amazon eventually. The league does, and that'll really jack up the salary cap. But yeah, I mean they got to manage the money till then. But I think they've done it the right way. They build through the drafts. You build your core players. That's how you do it, especially in a smaller market. But
Absolutely, yeah.
I like the defensive interior though. I like Winfrey. I thought Jordan Elliott looked good for third-year guy, finally popping a Tommy Toe guy. I like that 3-man rotation in there, but I
I
think
was at, I'd say one of my favorite players defense besides like obviously your typical of like Denzel Ward, Miles Garrett. I like
JOK.
JOK. That's my guy, man. I like his ass.
I love
It's
JOK.
it's just his speed, but he also just the way he hits. It's fucking. It
I think
reminds me
he
back when we were younger and shit. When we were lame motherfuckers.
when you're allowed to
Man,
hit people, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, back when we played, you're allowed to hit people, like hit people. We saw some nasty hits. I mean,
yeah.
I've never seen hits like it since. We
I would say
we
not. I'd say today now it's just a bunch of fucking soft ass shit.
well, they throw a flag at everything now. Everything's a flag, suspended. And then if you're in the league, you get fined. It's just like, come on, man, this is watered down. Like, what happened to
The hard
that was
nose shit.
part of our plays.
Exactly.
We practiced that. Especially
Uh-huh.
we had a Contrell on the outside. Just come back, just clip whoever's in the way, and he did
Mm-hmm.
too. He clipped.
Uh,
I remember we played Stowe. It was actually on my birthday in week 2. Do you remember that? It was week 2
yeah.
versus Stowe. It was the first 2 plays of the game. The first play, Stowe runs the ball on the outside, and Keandre comes in and just clips this kid. I mean, he hit him so bad, the kid's helmet literally went off his head and rolled under the ropes into the stands. And everybody on our
Yeah.
side, this kid's on the ground. I felt bad because our
But we
side.
all were like, oh, and we were
Yeah,
getting
everybody's like,
hyped the fuck
oh,
up.
we got people jump up and down and stuff. And this kid's laying out on the ground, and we're like, okay, we like help him out here. And then, so that kid's down. They get him up, get him to the sideline. They call the same exact play. I don't know why they called the same play again.
I
I'm
don't
after
get
what
it either.
but thanks for helping us out. Here comes Contrell from the safety position. Boom, the same thing happens. Now his
The
helmet's
same exact
gone.
reaction and
Same
everything like
exact
that too.
reaction, back to back plays, and it was just like, all right, let's just go home. Like we might as well not even play this game. Like just
I'm not gonna lie, man. I was laughing both those fucking hits. Cause I mean, those are some beautiful ass hits. They
they were
were.
beautiful. They sounded beautiful too. Like when
Yeah.
I remember we played Bookdale. Some kid came across the middle, or no, the middle linebacker he was looking right at me because we were in a pass play and I was in pass protection. And somebody threw, I think you threw a quick slant to somebody. Cottrell's on the other side, on the right side. And I'm just sitting there and they didn't send anybody on top of me. So I'm looking up, I'm looking at this linebacker, and all of a sudden I see him and then I don't see him. And I just see Cottrell just he just lit this kid. I mean, the kid literally went off probably like 5 feet in the air and just landed like this right on his back. And I look at him, he's just it was it. That was just like, damn, this dude is we had some savage. Like our team, we were some menaces. Like
I would say, like I've been saying, we were ready for war. We wanted to kill. That was our mentality on a week to week thing.
Yeah, that's why I like Perrion Winfrey though. I like his mentality. He kind of reminds me of that mentality.
Hopefully we do something though, man. I really do.
We need some receiver help. That ain't gonna do it.
I was like, granted, Cooper didn't play. I don't know if Peoples Jones played yesterday either.
I think he played a couple series.
But I mean, we need
David Bell didn't play either. Well, I like David Bell, but
he's
a rookie. But it's hard to put a lot of expectation on a rookie. But
especially for him coming from the later rounds and everything. So hopefully we get something with that, man. But
they need to sign somebody. I don't know. I mean, I don't know who's available. I mean, I know everybody's gonna bring his name. I don't know if he'll come back, but Odell's still out there. But
I
will
wouldn't
Odell?
bring his ass back.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of over with. So I don't know, man. They got to get somebody. Maybe could you flip Kareem Hunt if Jerome Ford keeps going? You might have to flip Kareem Hunt for a receiver. I don't know
I don't.
if you
It's
could.
just I was gonna say that's a like. Can you even? Because I mean, with him being such a bull the way he is, you can't
Mm-hmm.
really move him being such a big body out to receiver. Yeah, I don't know, man. We're gonna have to go hunting though. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But, no, I know we got some. I can talk to you because you know all the sports, but you're big in the
Yeah,
UFC too. I can never talk UFC because people at Brown don't really know UFC. Who's your favorite fighter in the UFC?
it's been so like whack recently, man. It's just
It
like
has
my.
been on. It hasn't been as good in the last year.
I mean, Connor was my boy. He still is my boy.
Best entrance ever.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, I like John Jones, Adesanya, the Ohio
Adesanya's
boy
my
Stipe,
Stipe.
but Stipe, there's rumors that him and John Jones are gonna be fighting, which I think John
Mm.
Jones gonna beat his ass for real. But I
I
do.
like my favorite right now is Izzy. I like Izzy Adesanya. He's my favorite. I like him. I love Nick. You know, you and I watched Nate Diaz versus McGregor. You and I know we both love Nate Diaz because he just sits up
Yeah,
there and talks his shit and just puts on a
yeah.
show.
But McGregor was doing it back too. It was
Oh,
funny
that
as
was the
fuck.
best. I loved it both. But uh and then who? Oh, I like Tony Ferguson too. The first like real fight I actually really like got into was it was the Khabib McGregor card. Was it like 2018? It was the
Yeah.
best fight I ever watched. Still to this day, one of the best fights I ever watched. Just the intensity of it. The crowd was in it. Just the war. Both guys just
Well,
drenched in blood.
I'll say just the fucking walkouts. It just was
The
Connor
walkouts are
just
insane, but no, not that.
uh,
Well, that fight was the most memorable because how it ended, jumping in the stands in a brawl. But the fight before that, the co-main event, it was Anthony Pettis
oh
versus Tony Ferguson.
yeah. I
And I
forgot about
remember
that one.
that's when I came. My dad had it on. He bought it, and I came in the living room, started watching it. And I started watching this thing. I'm like, I mean, these dudes are drenched in blood. They're out there like Tony Ferguson smiling. He's just, I mean, he's eating the blood. He's got cuts everywhere. He's just like ready for war. And I'm just like, it's on. And I started watching
Yeah,
it, and I was just like, man, this shit is fun. Like, I like
yeah,
this. These dudes go at it. And so that's why I became a fan of Ferguson too. But I don't know, man.
yeah. He's kind of fell off though.
Yeah, he's getting
His,
older.
I say his last couple fights,
Yeah,
he's been getting his ass beat.
yeah, yeah. He's aged, but I still like watching though. Yeah, he's got a good entrance too. It's like freaking CrossFit class. The music he has.
Yeah,
Dude comes
yeah,
out doing like jumping jacks and everything. You're like everybody. It makes me want to get up and start moving wherever I'm at. I'm at the
right.
bar at home. Like, but no, I think the big fight though coming up is what's his name? Alex Pereira. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, against
Against
Adesanya.
Izzy. That's gonna be. I think that'll be one of the best fights we've seen in a long time.
I would say,
In November.
I yeah. You got that one. Another one I like is Sean O'Malley. I like him.
Oh, O'Malley's fun. I like O'Malley. He's fun.
I like him, and then I don't know if you. I think it was a couple of weeks ago. Paddy the Baddy.
Mm-hmm.
He's from I think he's from England, but he said he's gonna teabag that motherfucker like Modern Warfare 2, and then he choked him out in like the second round and then teabagged him. I was laughing
Is that
my
the dude
ass
that
off.
eats like a just eats like complete shit?
Yeah, he ends up. So I
I
think he
th-
fights at 125 or 135, but once he's done fighting and everything like that, I think he
oh
gets
yeah,
up
yeah.
like
Because I actually saw that.
205 or something.
I saw it today. He was sitting there with this just a massive amount of food, and I'm just like, he's got enough food to feed a freaking village. And I'm looking at him, I'm just like, how is this dude eating all this? But
Yeah, no, with his ass, man. When I saw that shit, I was like, Jesus Christ! Like, why would you cut 80 fucking pounds just to fight at that weight?
yeah. And then we'll wrap up. College football. Let's see if we got my Ohio State on. I know you're Ohio State. What do you? We'll just do a little quick sports recap here. What do you think about Ohio State this year?
We should be all right, man. I mean, when it comes to, I know our first game's gonna be against Notre Dame.
That's gonna be
With
tough.
I would say, I mean, they're so 50-50. Either they're dead on and where they're gonna be a solid ass team that year, or they're just fucking dog shit and they're horrible. I'm being for real, but
Oh boy.
I would say so. I think based off how we played that game, that's gonna say a lot on how our season's gonna go, though.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I think that game, and they got a couple other big games. Penn State's always a big game. And then you
That one,
got
Wisconsin's always a big one.
then
Obviously, Michigan.
revenge, ass kicking this year, going for that. But we'll see who's talking all that stuff then. But
Yeah.
that and then I mean I'm looking forward to it. Then what do you got? What do you think's going on in the NBA right now? What do you think's going on with Durant and Kyrie?
Jesus Christ,
It's
man.
just
I mean, we could talk about that one for fucking hours, man. So those motherfuckers are they're a bunch of pussies on that side for real. They talking about they need all this money just for them to step on the court. I saw a rumor today, I don't know if it's true, where Kyrie only wants to play 60 games, but he doesn't want to play back-to-backs or some dumb shit like that. Like, motherfucker, you're getting paid millions. You better get your fucking pussy ass up on out there. Like, seriously.
I went from having the Paisan on, it was all nice and spiritual, to just tell it like it is. The real with Zach.
No,
That's what this is.
It's the truth, but no, I think Kyrie's gonna end up in LA though. I think that's.
I don't know what's going on.
They keep hyping up Durant to Boston though.
Boston or Philly now too. Even I've seen Philly, Miami still in the mix.
I'd say his best bet for real is going to Philly. If he goes to Boston,
if he goes to Philly, that's tough.
But they're always known for busting though.
Yeah, but they never had a Kevin Durant though. You put KD in there with a big man like Embiid, and then James Harden's just basically the third wheel, which is fine that's where I'd want him. I don't want him as my second option. Can't trust him.
Or my first.
Yeah, definitely not the first. But yeah, I mean, I ain't mad at that. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I really want his ass in Phoenix. I want his ass in Phoenix. I'm a big fan of Devin Booker for real.
Yeah, no, that's why I thought he was going to end up there at first, but once they signed Ayton, that went out the window. So
yeah, which that's fucking crazy ass money for him too. But
I don't know, man. I like our Cavs though. I'm excited about the Cavs. We look pretty good.
But they keep on trying to fuck it up though. They're trying to bring LeBron's ass back. They need to fucking show with that shit.
I think it's going to happen next offseason. If I had to bet my money right now on some of the stuff I've heard and seen, I think it's going to be next offseason. I thought there was a good chance it could happen this, because I didn't know how much, do you want to waste another season out there? But they want him to pass Kareem in a Lakers uniform. They already got the party planned and everything. So whatever, have your kumbaya moment out there. And then, I don't know, I could see him wanting to come back home. That team stinks. I mean, they trash.
But I mean, with them though, LeBron built that team. That's the fucking.
Oh, I know. That's some of the repercussions when you go all in with LeBron.
I was gonna say with LeBron, any team he's been on, he's fucking fucked up when it comes to salary.
Yeah, you're old. No draft
all his
picks.
Fucking boys paid. Exactly.
No assets. No nothing. You don't get player. You don't get nothing. And pretty much. But
I would say if we were, I don't even want his ass here. I really don't.
Some people don't want him back.
I don't.
I don't. They don't.
People.
They don't need him back. That's the point. Like, they really don't need him. It would help. I think it makes them a lot. They could win a championship towards the last 2 years of his career. But
shit, I don't even know that though, man.
You got Evan Mobley. I think Evan Mobley's gonna be one of the top 5 players of the league one day.
I just think with fucking our youth that we have there, you gotta just fucking ride with them, and then you give them a couple more years to like really like gel and to really like get the fuck together. I mean, because they play way more fast paced now compared to like with LeBron. LeBron is just with him
half court ISO, spread the floor.
He likes to play it slow, which I mean, for all them, they're all in their primes of like 23, 24, or 25 years old. Only thing they're thinking about is just running down and back. I mean,
yeah, he would have to be more of. I mean, his shooting's probably last year was one of the best years I've ever seen him shoot the ball. If he could be an actual like wing, like a 3, and go off the ball more and just really shoot the ball like he has been. It could work. It would work, but I don't know, man. They don't need him, but I mean, I
No,
like what they are.
they need younger guys still. I would keep building that youth.
I know they're talking
That,
about Andrew Wiggins next summer. You trying to get a 3 or a wing? I'm not mad at that. I mean, I don't want to.
I'd say he was balling in Golden State.
Yeah, I mean, if you get Andrew Wiggins now, starting to really peak, starting to become the Andrew Wiggins people thought he would be, I'd take that. Put him right in the middle.
So, in your opinion, who's the best player in the league right now?
I think when healthy, I think the top 3. I still think LeBron's, and I'm not gonna give an order because I'm thinking LeBron's still up there. Kevin Durant's still up there. Kawhi Leonard. Those, if I'm trying to win a championship, ultimately those are the 3 I want. When healthy.
But those are none of the 3 I was gonna say.
No,
That's fucking funny. No,
I don't know. See, I was high on I think Steph deserves to be in there. Steph balled. He balled out in the finals.
I was gonna say Steph.
And then it's between probably Giannis. I think Luka. I think John Morant when he's healthy. Towards the end of the year, John Morant was on fire. I thought he was killing everybody he was going against. Yeah. I think Luka.
No. I think if I had to say mine, I'd say Steph, Luka. I mean, Embiid's dominant when he's healthy.
Jokic.
Jokic is enough. Jokic, he's just, I don't know, man. He's like wishy-washy sometimes.
I like big man who can pass, though. I like watching him play, and he can shoot.
I'd say I like that too because his passes are slick looking too.
Yeah, I like big man who can pass, but Jokic, I think trying to see who's coming. I think, I think 2 guys we got are coming. I think Darius and Evan Mobley are coming, but
Jared Allen ain't that far behind either. That dude, he blocks shots for fucking days.
I don't think he would ever be a top. He'd probably never be my top 20 though. I don't think he's.
No, man. I mean, because like that's another one. He's got youth on the side.
Well, I mean, you never know, but I just think the upside, it's Garland and Mobley. I mean, that's going to be the next 1-2 punch.
I would say those 2 are the. It's going to be interesting what they do with Sexton.
Yeah, I know. That's the one thing Are they going to trade him? Or are they going to? I don't know, man. I don't know what they're doing with him. It's weird what's going on. It's real quiet too. Like you try to look. I try to look at. You look it up online. You try to. Nothing. Like he's just nothing.
With him though, it's just you got the injury factor, but then the other part of it is just like
the fit.
Because I mean, he's more. I look at him more as like a little better Russell Westbrook. And when I say that, like, because with Russell Westbrook, when he was in his prime at OKC, when he was averaging triple double, yes, I mean that was his team only. I think that's what Sexton's going to need. I don't think he's going to be per se the greatest role player. I think he needs.
He reminds me of like a little bit of kind of the role and the size AI. You just give him the ball, let him score. Yeah, man, that's AI. Well, AI was a killer. He was just a guard. He wasn't even really a point guard. He was just a guard. Just give him the ball, let him go. That's what he is. He's like a Lou Will. You know, if he can play that role. I mean, I love him on that role at the bench, but I don't know if they'll make it happen.
I was gonna say, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Cavs just need to. I think we gotta keep the youth. Fuck LeBron. Let's get this shit fucking moving. Keep LeBron's ass out in fucking LA for real.
Yeah, well, you want to go out there, you can stay out there.
Yeah, take Brownie's ass out there with you. Fuck it.
Bryce, though, I'm intrigued by his youngest son. Though that kid, he's already 6'6".
I'll say 6'6".
That dude can play. That dude is.
It'll be interesting how tall he actually gets too.
I know he'd be taller than his dad.
I think he will be because he's already 6'6". I think he's going to be a sophomore this year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, he'll probably be like 7 foot.
He's a lot more built than his dad was as a sophomore too. Like when you look at LeBron, I mean LeBron was always a man child, but that kid, he's pretty like he's longer than his dad was at that age.
He's built too, like a motherfucker.
He's longer. He's smooth. He's probably a better shooter than his dad was at that age. I mean,
it ain't hard to be a better shooter than LeBron.
You're not on the LeBron trade anymore, are you?
No, man.
I ride with my team. Yeah, I ride with my team. That's what I do. You're not with the Cavs
So,
now.
like I said, with me, like when LeBron was in Cleveland this past time, when he won us the championship and everything, after he just got done doing us dirty from Miami,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, all right, you know what? I forgive you, whatever type deal. And then when he won us the championship, I was like, fuck yes. And then that's when all the Kyrie shit was starting to fucking go. I'm like,
That's when I started to
fuck.
get pissed.
And then LeBron fucking is getting everybody paid, like Kevin Love, J.R. Smith, Tristan Thompson. And then that next year, you leave. Like, motherfucker, like, get the hell out of here with that shit.
Yeah, no, I agree. I when the Kyrie stuff happened, that's not because I love Kyrie. I love watching Kyrie play.
I would say I do too.
He's one of my
him.
favorite players to watch because
He's just
that
a
dude.
mental case, man.
I mean, I didn't have a problem with him sitting out, but I just think, yeah, I mean, there's some things about him kind of like I don't understand him, but I don't know. It's a weird era now. It's different. It's all this.
It is so different. It really is.
It's a lot different. Even 10 years ago, we were watching teams. I mean, it's just way different. You don't got the Kobe Bryants anymore.
Yeah, no, it's.
You got a
is
couple
so
pit
crazy.
bulls out there, but you don't have like the killers like that. Not as much.
No, it is so crazy how just everything changed. It really was.
Yeah, sure. But, yeah, man. I think we came up here first time, tore it up. So you got any
Absolutely, brother.
thing you want to say on the way out?
Oh man, appreciate you for having me. Of course, happy you're better. Proud of you as
Yeah.
always.
Yeah, proud of you too, bro. I appreciate you coming on and
No
like I
problem.
said, picking right up where we left off and just keep it moving from here.
Absolutely, brother.
Yeah, we're back, but
Yeah,
we back. Better watch out.
exactly.
Roaming the streets of Cuyahoga Falls again like we used to. But oh boy. But all right, man. You got any? No, I already asked if you got anything else to say on the way out. I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
You're all good, brother.
all right, man. I'll see you on the next one then.
Yep. Peace out, brother.
Peace out. All right, I want to thank Zach for coming on. I know this was a much different podcast maybe what you guys are used to as far as just like, Zach's a pretty obviously open book. He's not afraid to speak his mind, and but that's why I love Zach. That's why him and I are close. That's why that's the kind of people I've always been around. Those are the people I grew up around. Just good people. Little edge to them. They just but they're not afraid to tell you the truth. And I'd rather have somebody tell me the truth and say it. And I may not like the delivery or maybe the verbiage sometimes, but at least you're telling me the truth. And I respect that rather than somebody sitting there trying to kiss my ass and tell me some watered down stuff that doesn't really help anybody. We need more. That's why I try to call this the real, or not try to call it. That's why it is. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm a little tired, guys. I didn't sleep last night, but that's why this show though is called The Real, because I want real life people going through real life things up here sharing their stories. I share my story, and that's what it is, and man, it's like I said, it's been unbelievable. I knew once I started reconnecting with my guys, that's going to be the beginning of me coming back, and it's just been surreal. And it's been surreal to connect with different people I never thought I'd talk to again, and just like I said, I'm back. It's the real me now, and new and improved me. And I'm gonna keep growing and do what I got to do, and and having people like Zach in my life and other people that help me grow, and we help each other grow. And that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, is having good people around you, and like I said, having people around you that are honest and will tell you the truth, and that's what it's all about. And so yeah, man, that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and yeah, spread the word. Get more people watching this. Maybe have one of you guys on one day. I'd love that. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys. See you the next one. Gone.